Jonesy
and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
So I saw this reel yesterday. I won't say any more. Just have a listen to this.
I used to work as a student nurse at a hospital. I had this patient who had to stay overnight because he had a severe asthma attack. He had to wear an oxygen mask over his mouth and nose. My job was to give him a sponge bath, so I did. While I was giving him a sponge bath, he mumbled something from behind his mask. He said, "Nurse, are my testicles black?" I was a little bit embarrassed because I didn't know how to answer that question. He said, "Nurse, please check for me. Are my testicles black?" So I just gently raised his gown. I was holding his manhood in one hand and his testicles in my other hand. And then I said, "There is nothing wrong with them, sir. They look fine." He then slowly starts to pull off his oxygen mask. He said, "Thank you so much. That was wonderful. But listen very, very close." He said, "Are my test results back?"
I saw this other one. Someone had tweeted this. A man sits by me on a train. Man, loads of psychopaths around here. Me, really? Man, loads, mate. Me, how do you know? Man, there's signs, aren't there? Me, well, I guess. Man, I love them. 47 minutes of awkward silence ensue. Man leaves the train. He has a bike. I realise he was saying psychopaths.
Psychopaths.
Loads of psychopaths around here. Not psychopaths. I love them.
This just happened to me just last weekend.
Mm.
So, you know, Sailor Jerry.
Yeah.
So he's, we're finished having our sailing day and Helen and I were going out to dinner with some old neighbours of ours who are English. Jerry's English. And I said, "What are you doing tonight?" And he said, "I'm at home by myself." I said, "Well, why don't you come to dinner with us anyway?" Helen wasn't too pleased that I just invited Sailor Jerry at the last minute.
Mm.
And it was a great night, as it were. But the next day, we had some other friends around, and Helen was sort of going on about it a bit. I said, "Look, you weren't even put out." And then she's gone into this tirade. "How dare you?" So I'm going, "What do you mean?" And her friends, the Helen posse, "How dare you speak to her like that?" I'm going, "What are you talking about?" Talking about how much sex you put out. And I'm going, I said, "You weren't even put out. Not you won't even put out."
Oh.
She thought I was having a go.
So she thought you were saying in front of everyone you won't even put out.
Yeah.
She must have thought, where'd that come from? Inconsequentially.
She had about 2 glasses of bitch diesel at that stage. So,
Right.
you don't want to mess with them when they're like that. And I said, "No, you weren't even put out." And it was a good night anyway, is what I was saying.
Right, rather than you won't put out, it was a good night anyway.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which didn't help my case in any way.
No, not even after the wine.